beautiful night tonight, and it's the first night of footy back in Melbourne. And the Magpie supporters are about, who's going to win tonight, kids?
So, Tipper, got a pass?
Have I got a pass for you? Have a look at that one. Good on you, buddy.
So, one of the legends of Australian football joins the 17 as our boundary rider. Welcome to the 1994 Foster's Cup from Melbourne's Waverley Park. Tonight's two of the great rivals, Collingwood and North Melbourne, are poised to kick off the season. Your host for this evening's match, Bruce McAvaney.
Yes, good evening, sports fans right around Australia. Welcome to the opening match in the 1994 Foster's Cup Series. Tonight, it's Collingwood and North Melbourne. We've got a great game lined up and a very big crowd. It has grown in the last quarter of an hour, well over 20,000, and a tremendous atmosphere in here for this opening match. As we look at the squads, and we start with Collingwood, 22 players in the squad. The standouts, Nathan Buckley from Brisbane last year, Houlihan, Hassel and Sanderson, some new men, Dacos and Shaw, the 230-plussers, Brad Plain, the opportunist, hoping to get more opportunities than he did at Essendon, and Todd Curley, ex-West Perth. As we're about to have the toss, Craig Kelly and Wayne Carey, two of the strong men in the competition. Carey's won the toss and kicks to the left of screen. What a great player that man was in 1993. As we look at North Melbourne, Schwasser's there, John Barnett, who played a night match as a 16-year-old for Hawthorn 2 years ago. Carey, as we've seen, Demamiel up from the under-19s, McKernan, who's been tried at full forward in the pre-season matches, and John Longmire. What about him? 175 days since his injury, and that must be some sort of a record after a knee reconstruction. So the scene is set. The men are warmed up. Back with the opening bounce after this.
The name of the game is Australia.
Set to go. Centre bounce. Good evening, Robbo and Gerard Healy.
Good on you, Bruce. It's good on you, Bruce.
Ashenko goes against Richardson. First bounce in the 94 season, the Foster's Cup. It's a centre-half forward. Rock gets the first kick away. Carey wins the first against Kelly, and they've been at it for the last minute and a half.
Well, it's a great effort there by Carey. He's got a few centimetres advantage over Craig Kelly, but the strength of both of those players, I'm sure, will be an interesting thing for the spectators to watch this evening.
Carey to go from about 50 metres. The captain leans back and kicks it straight through. What better start could you wish for? And it's on.
Just a bit of getting to know each other after a long season's break. Just have a look at the centre bounce up at the next break. We'll see that there's no rubber patch in the middle, and the ball isn't going as high, so the ruckmen will have to adjust themselves and perhaps not take as long a runner.
So let's have a look and see what Collingwood can do. The ruck contests between Ischenko and young Mark Richardson. Of course, Damien Moncourse not able to play for the early games in season 1994. Butcher and Stevens. Mark Fraser can't break clear. Scott Russell's a chance. Tackled by Scholl. Ball forced forward by Rock. Marcus taken back there for Collingwood by Hassel. John Hassel, who did reasonably well in Darwin last weekend against the All-Stars, the Aboriginal All-Stars, that is. Here's Francis. Gets around onto that right foot. He's pretty quick. Able to get the hand pass away. Russell overruns it. Good shepherd by Christian. Kick off the ground. Chance there for Richardson. He forces it forward. Tony Shaw gets his first kick for season 1994, but the mark is taken at centre-half back for North Melbourne by big Alex Ischenko.
Schwass about to get his second effective touch. 3 umpires out there tonight, all being mic'd. That kick by Danichenko up to the centre. Off the ground by Rock to centre-half forward. Oh, good effort in the front spot and paid. Coming back to Barnett. This was the young man who played at Hawthorn in a night match a couple of years ago. Left foot goes out wide. Loose player there for North Melbourne. No free kick to Ramiro. McKernan's handball back to McCannon. Normally very clever in this situation. Maybe tried a bit too much. Gets the handball off. Comes back again. Opportunity now around the body coming from Scholl to fall forward. Bouncing ball. Collingwood attack at North Melbourne there. Off the ground by Carey, is it a goal? A second one. 2 goals in the first couple of minutes for the captain.
It's an outstanding start by Wayne Carey. He was, of course, the superstar of season 1993, and what a way to begin this season. Here's McAdam. We know he's got a lot of tricks. He gets the ball going. Craig Scholl's an impressive player, a quiet achiever, but this is a goal made out of nothing. Kelly trying to barge his way through and off the ground. Bit of a lucky bounce for his second goal in as many minutes.
I think Michael Christian trying to talk to the umpire as though it may have hit a Collingwood player as it went through there. But it's all clear. Second goal to North Melbourne. Here's Mickey Martin crashing his way through the pack. A high kick up towards half forward. Ramiro, but the mark taken by Barnett. Already looking quite promising. Young John Barnett up towards full forward. A chance now for North Melbourne. Roberts gets it to Ramiro. Was that throwing the ball? Play on, says the umpire. A behind has been registered for North Melbourne. Kicked by Jose Ramiro.
The ball hasn't been down in Collingwood's forward line as of yet, but we have John Longmire picking up Severio Rocker at full back. Unusual position for Longmire. Has played there before, but because of the trouble he's had with his knee, North Melbourne want him to run in straight lines.
It's Kent Butcher to kick it in for Collingwood.
Let's go, kick it, hurry up, let's go!
Umpire telling that player to get on with it. Kicks in towards centre half back, and a mark taken by Tony Shaw. Great to see him in the Collingwood colours again. One wonders how long he can last for, but good on you, Tony. He's kick out towards the wing on the members' side. The mark taken by Kosiska. And he can only kick really effectively with that left foot. So he's got to go back and have a set kick up towards half forward. In short, punched away there by Archer.
Weather tonight, we're expecting to get down to 13, current temperature 17, swirling breeze coming across the ground, favouring no end towards the grandstand side. No drawn matches in the Foster's Cup competition. Time on to be played, 2 by 5 minutes, plus time on if it's a draw at the end. Free kick to Collingwood, half forward to Francis in the back. Dacos being picked up by Smith. Longmire's got Rockers. Robbo told you already. Rocker the target, goes very wide, Francis, though. And a ball in about 40 metres away. North Melbourne defending at the moment. We look at the Collingwood bench, 4 interchange players in the Foster's Cup. McCartney on the bench along with Curley, and Gaver might have been there. Handball here, Shaw with a chance. Shaw round the body. Curling back, bouncing, touched behind. Wouldn't that have been something if the ex-skipper had goal for the Maggies?
Good defensive work there by Ross Smith. Shaw a little bit unfortunate that he got the backspin. There's the North Melbourne bench. 4 interchange players, as we know.
Ross Smith to kick it back into play for North Melbourne. Gerard, the ground, you've been down there in magnificent condition.
Yes, I don't think there'll be any sackings to this week, Robbo.
Great to see. Had a horror of a time out here this time last year, Waverley. The kick in towards the centre of the ground. Scholl, Mark Richardson in the contest. Kelly, ineffective kick. Francis, that is, could have been nearly paid around the neck. Umpire calling play on. Now he picks a free kick out, and it goes to North Melbourne. And the Collingwood fans are certainly here at Waverley this evening.
Well, I'd say the umpire thought that Francis ducked his head on that occasion.
Rock, kick towards half forward. The strong men at it, Kelly and Carey. The kick goes wide from Butcher and finds touch at left half forward for North Melbourne, about 75 to 80 metres around from their goal. They've kicked 2-1. Collingwood have kicked it behind, and the goal kicker is Wayne Carey. He's got both of North Melbourne's goals. Free kick in the ruck contest going to North Melbourne, and it will be taken by Roberts.
60 metres, not a bad kick. Carey the target. Kelly bodies him pretty well. Butcher looked for a free kick. Christian's handball ineffective. Butcher still with it. Rock to attack him. Butcher plays it towards the boundary line. Watson lets it run out and over the line.
Yeah, good defensive work on 2 occasions there by Kent Butcher. He was under severe pressure and went to the boundary line for safety.
Christian again with Roberts. Christian unopposed that time. Hassel running towards the boundary. Watson, McAdams hip and shoulder. And again a throw in and half forward left. Collingwood in defence. Watson, who had a brilliant start to last year as a defender.
So the ruckman on this occasion are Mark Roberts and Michael Christian. Roberts in front, gets the hand pass to Ramiro. Kick didn't go really all that far. Stevens up high. Francis close to the boundary line. Will be forced over. No, gets the hand pass away to Watson. Tony Shaw bumped off the football by Schwass. He was hard at the footy, Wayne Schwass, and couldn't quite control it in the finish. So we'll have another throw in.
Notice Blakey's got the job on Buckley.
Neither have had a touch to date on the wing.
Oh, a bit of a dust up there between Francis and McAdam. Play goes on. Over the top was Christian. Diving on it, Stevens, who gave North Melbourne such wonderful service last year. And a free kick. There's another bit of a dust up. Well, the spirit's really there. Both teams obviously pretty keen for a victory.
Anthony Stevens picking up the Collingwood small men.
Stevens kicking towards half forward. Tony Shaw and Ramiro. Ball spills. Roberts taps it on in front of himself. Harold didn't have the football. And Roberts will take the free kick.
Scott Russell and Tony Francis changing on and off the ball out of the forward pocket. Stevens is picking them up when they go onto the ball, and an unusual position for German. He's started the game in the back pocket, picking up the resting rover.
Well, another look at that. Was it probably there, but well, Roberts has a chance to kick a goal.
Sorry, Susan Nurse from the umpire.
Fair enough. Roberts now kicking from 35. Hooks the kick and misses with just one behind resulting. So North Melbourne 2-2, Collingwood one behind.
Craig Kelly, the captain tonight. Gavin Brown not out there. Matthews, Pagan and Carey as of last year. They're the coaches and captains for the two clubs.
Well, speaking of Pagan, he did promise that there'd be a far stronger North Melbourne side. And looking at Mark Roberts there, he looks to have bulked up over the summer.
Butcher's kicker, Schenko goes hard. Couldn't quite take it. Short caught by Schenko. And it's going to be a ball up and half forward for North Melbourne. There's Blakey, who's got the job on Buckley. Buckley, the prize recruit for Collingwood from Brisbane. McGarry medalist a couple of years ago, Rookie of the Year last year. Shaw did pretty well there. Got it down to Williams, his first kick up the centre wing. Bouncing ball, here's Plain, who fell over. Still with Plain. Has a chance to steady. Poor looking kick. Gave his forwards little chance. Opportunity though for Collingwood. Rowe was dashing through. Round the body by Rocker to the pocket. Dacos first touch. Smith with him. Dacos got a little kick away. Didn't go very far. Handball back. Scott Russell across the face of goal. Chance for Richardson. Runs it to the boundary line and out of play. Good defence by North.
Well, he looks a hell of a lot different this year. The young player there, Brad Rowe. Second season at Collingwood, but he did well there to handball and get it a second time.
Schenko there, Rocker over the top. Mickey Martin across the face of goal. Bouncing ball.
Buckley. Here's a chance now for Nathan Buckley. Overruns it. Blakey, good pressure. All fair, but could be free kick there. Well, it was fairly blatant out of bounds, I thought, against John Blakey, but the umpire has elected for a boundary throw-in. Didn't try to keep it in my opinion. 50 metres from the Collingwood goal. Bradley Plain bursts his way through. Can't get past. Stevens was good in that little collision. Ball spills for Smith. He kicks it back near the centre of the ground. Collingwood should take the mark. No, Butcher spills it. Plays it in front of himself, close to the line. Rock applied very good fair pressure there. And it goes over for a throw-in.
Well, they should have done better there, Collingwood. They had the 2-on-1 situation. Good work from Anthony Rock to neutralise the ball.
Well, dropping the mark was critical. There's another free kick in the ruck contest. This time it's going to North Melbourne again, and it'll be taken by Martin. Mickey Martin. He's kicking towards centre half forward. In short there was Tony Shaw. Couldn't quite take the mark. Hassel was there for Collingwood. A kick across his body, and it goes over right on the players' interchange area for a throw-in. 2 goals, 2-14 North Melbourne, and Collingwood have kicked just one behind. That coming from the boot of Tony Shaw.
Paul Williams, who played 20 matches last year, started in the centre square tonight. Usually a fast starter each season. Richardson gets rid of Roberts that time. Up to half forward. Well played by German. To Schenko. Schenko tries to take the player on. Caught Now playing. Scooped it up with one hand. Handball missed its mark. Running away now is Archer, who was one of the stars last year. Revelation at North. Up to Carey. Nearly a one-hander. McKernan taps it forward. Christian on hands and knees. Taps it along the ground. Some willing stuff early in the season. Roberts over the top of it. Goes back. Ramiro swings and ducks and gets caught. And it'll be a ball up at centre half forward.
Michael Christian has gone onto the ball for Collingwood. Mark Richardson is having a rest at centre half forward. Nolashenko is picking him up as a loose man, which leaves Michael Martin free roaming across half back.
Interesting there, Bruce. The picture of Dennis Pagan. In the background was Tony Elshaw, who's on the North Melbourne coaching staff this year.
Schwartz has kicked to centre half forward.
Dragging down on the line.
Free kick again against Collingwood. And this man, I know he missed a moment ago, but he's normally a very good shot. Lee Matthews.
Great conversion rate last year, 47 goals, 14. Almost the highest in the league as a percentage of goal kicking.
With Longmire, Carey and McAdam provided most of the goals for North Melbourne last year. Kicks from just outside 50. Poor attempt. Ball bouncing, Watson first to it, McAdam. McKernan with him, McAdam's left foot, he's normally very good. Back towards a Carey direction and takes the mark, the captain. Well, there's a terrific article written about him in the paper this morning by Mike Sheehan about his quest for excellence and his position in the game, like Ablett and Kernahan and Dunstall at the moment. And he started this season like he played for most of 1993.
Got it, Craig. Got it, Craig.
What a dream start this will be for North and for their celebrated captain. Kicking from 20 metres out. Straight in front, give him a big rap. He's missed. Didn't kick through it, did he? Just stabbed at it.
Well, big players do fall for the three-card trick there, Gerard, don't they? Sometimes when they're too close.
Early in the season, he's kicked a couple. With a player of his ability, I guess you can't give him any excuses.
Well, this is Damien Houlihan.
He's an enormous kick, Houlihan. Usually plays up at the other end of the ground, but he was trialled at full-back last week, I think, from memory, Robert.
Yes, he did play in defence in Darwin. North Melbourne forced the ball forward. Watson close to the line. And it goes over about 40 metres around, perhaps a little closer from the North Melbourne goal. 2-3 plays one behind. North Melbourne leading by 14 points. Collingwood having trouble. They had lots of trouble across the half-forward line last week. And similar this evening. Watson's kick goes out on the full, so the free kick to be taken for North Melbourne. It could be Wayne Schwartz. And then again, it may be Carey. Watson under a little bit of pressure there. Carey coming in late. And it is Carey to take the free kick. He's probably too far out to score, but he gets onto a big torpedo punt kick. It lands in the square, taken away by Kelly to Krasiska, away to Hassel. Very quick John Hassel, gets his kick in towards the centre. Fraser didn't quite control the football. Craig Scholes got it. Good tackle, Fraser. Martin shrugs that tackle and then goes on with the business and kicks it off the side of his boot, and it's out on the full. Free kick to be taken back there for Collingwood by Damien Houlihan.
Young McCartney's up on the boundary line preparing to come on. I'd be surprised if he wasn't put down onto Wayne Carey, who started the game so well. As I speak, it's Michael Christian coming off the ground.
Christian's kick to Christian coming off. Houlihan's kick up the centre wing. Free kick against Collingwood, and Martin again from the centre.
As Richardson's gone back onto the ball, and McCartney's gone to centre half forward and should pick up an easy possession first up.
Krasiska,
poor kick.
Gave his forwards no chance at all. Had a bit of time too.
Should have pinpointed McCartney there.
Archer to Blakey. Blakey back to the centre. The punch away by Butcher was all right. Francis overran it. German overruns him. Free kick to Francis in the centre.
Well, he's been the umpire's favourite tonight.
I was just going to make a comment there. The Collingwood supporters, ironical cheers, Bruce. I'd say it'll be about 7 free kicks to 2 in North's favour so far in the game.
Francis swings it wide, gets Watson, his run up from the back pocket, off McAdam.
Yes, exposing a perceived weakness in McAdam's game, and that's his lack of defence.
Long probing kick, block at the target, carried all of them. Ross Smith to the boundary line. Kick didn't quite find us. Mark Russell's very Fast handball. Francis a snapshot. Won't make it right with the square. Ashenko comes back. Ball hits the behind post.
Well, a plethora of mistakes there. First one by Ross Smith. Pretty poor kick on defence as we see the sportsbook odds. North Melbourne clear favourites there. I'm sure you'd take them at that odds. It looks a bit skinny for mine.
9-4 on. Rocker. Smith. Out wide. Scholl and Fraser. And out of play. So right now, Gerard, the 9-4 on will be about right, wouldn't it? What we've seen so far. Big crowd here on a coolish night.
It's really a perfect night for footy, Bruce. It's, as you said, it's a little cool, but it's been about 25 degrees in Melbourne today, and I would suggest that the Collingwood players in particular would be relishing this after playing in Darwin last week. Paul McCartney down his North Melbourne opponent there, playing a little bit of space, gets his kick away. Ischenko couldn't take the mark. Away goes Rock, cleaning up in the back pocket. His kick goes over the top of Scholl, but gave him the chance to run onto it. Craig Scholl did pretty well, then fell over, which was critical. Russell's kick into the centre, taken by Williams. Williams with a little bit of space. He runs about 3 metres and kicks at 53 to full forward and Dacos.
Well, his first touch for the evening. And surprisingly, he took it on the chest. But I still believe this man has plenty to offer Collingwood. He can stay fit and his attitude is right.
My word, Gerard.
He'll kick 60 goals if he's left in that forward pocket.
It takes a pretty good player to contain Peter Dacos.
And he very rarely misses them when he gets a set shot from this position.
Signed his contract only yesterday. Kicks for goal, and he's put it through.
7-15, 1-1-2-3. Dacos and Carey, the goal scorer so far in this match, and has been willing. Stevens tries to crash his way through. Richardson's handball all right. Should be a free kick down the ground at Collingwood. Player got absolutely cleaned up after he kicked it. German comes through. Wobbly old one. Doesn't go very far. Missed by Buckley. Ashenko's handball was very awkward. Scooped up by Hassel. Hassel got it across to Williams, who goes very wide. Russell. Played 91 matches in 4 seasons. He's been Mr. Consistency. Gee, Buckley's obviously nervous. That'll help. First kick, though, it wasn't a good one. Rock from centre wing. Drives it back to half-forward. Carey being held onto. Play on. Barnett and Richardson out of play.
Mark Richardson doing well so far in the game.
Goes with McKernan. Houlihan helps out over the back, missed by Butcher. Schwass couldn't quite take it either. Pretty hot one there. And at half forward again, it'll be a stalemate situation. Wayne Schwass, who had some brilliant moments in 1993. It was the most exciting team, North Melbourne. Fell away towards the end on this very ground, right at the end against West Coast. Taken by Williams. Handball, gee, Hassel probably should have taken that. That's out on the full against North Melbourne, unfortunately for them, because certainly not meant to be, and Williams to kick it in from the back pocket.
Well, you'd reckon these guys have just finished playing about a week ago from last year, not 3 or 4 months. They look fit, and they're doing it pretty nicely. Houlihan's kicking towards half forward. Bradley Plain couldn't quite take the mark. Ischenko running around like a rover at half-back. Away to Longmire. Longmire's kick out towards the centre wing area. Kelly beaten for it. Butcher, handball away for Houlihan. Like the look of that young man. He's kicked towards the wing. Was that a mark? It's been paid.
Around the neck, I think.
And maybe a free kick paid to Scott Russell against Danilchenko. Scotty Russell. He's kicking towards centre half forward. Back goes Big Alex, doing a good job across the half-back line. Collingwood falling down. Archer held a bit high. Play goes on. Advantage rule, and Archer's kick up towards Carey. Carey gives the hand pass away. Schwass. Good tackle, Mark Richardson. Should be rewarded. Still looking for the free kick. By gee, that was a long time coming. And Mark Richardson has it on centre wing. Paul Williams trying to wrest the ball away from Wayne Schwass. Great tackle there by Mark Richardson. Application 99.5%. Now, a 50-metre penalty, is there? No. A free kick going to the wrong player, obviously. It's going back now to be taken. It could be John Hassel. No, it's Paul Williams. Right on the left corner of the centre square. So he's just in Collingwood's defensive half, and the kick will cover centre half forward. Here's Williams, one of Collingwood's very, very promising young players. High kick out towards half forward. Punched away there by Rocker. Picked up there for Collingwood by Russell. His kick goes in towards full forward. It's tidied up by John Blakey, and he kicks it straight across the half-back line. It'll go close to the boundary line. Scholes in trouble. Handball away over the line, and a boundary throw-in will take place.
Prize money loses 5,000, 11 to the winners. Series total 360. The winning club will get 104 of that. Big money in the Foster's Cup. Good way to start the year. Butcher round the corner. Into the pocket. Danilchenko with Rowe. And running out of play. Collingwood's done well because North Melbourne came out fast. Got the first couple of goals. Dominated the first 10 minutes. And the Maggies with their army of supporters here have bounced back. And they're back within 8 points. And done most of the attacking in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Here's Francis. Russell's high kick. He's normally pretty good from there. Getting right back. Well played by Plain. Left foot round the body. Couldn't quite bring it back enough. Tried to bend it round. It would have been a miracle goal. And out on the full. 3 boundary umpires tonight. 2 running at the same time. And an interchange for them as well.
But Bradley Plain can stay on his feet, not get injured, and have problems with his Achilles. He'll be a valuable recruit for Collingwood. He's averaged over 2 goals a game for his entire career, so he knows where the sticks are.
Fraser to Russell. Well played. Vision was excellent to Kosiska. Saw him 25 metres away, just chipped it over.
I think Kosiska is one player that Collingwood will be looking for a very, very big year. He was a dominant player in their grand final year, but has just drifted in and out of his career in the last few seasons. He really needs to hammer home a big one.
12 matches last year only. Sort of player that you'd expect to play nearly every match.
That's it, no closer.
Kick from 50 with a swirling breeze tonight. Gets underneath it and again struggles with it to the pocket. Rowe did very well. Paid in the front spot, jumped early, made it hard for Danilchenko to spoil. Runs around, improves the angle. I think the umpire's going to call him back, is he?
He kicked it, by the way.
Was it a goal? Not paid.
Just practicing.
Well, he too averages a goal and a bit to 2 goals like playing a match.
Doesn't he look a totally different person with his short haircut? God, golly.
See his face now, Robert.
Well, he was easily distinguished with the long hair, Bruce.
Tries it again, not bad again. Goals.
North Melbourne lead by 2 points. We're close to quarter time in the first match of the Foster's Cup for season 1994. Ischenko up against Richardson. Tony Shaw harassed out of it. Knocked away. Back towards the centre of the ground. Rock. Little kick by that player was good. Mark Roberts takes the mark at left half forward. His kick goes in towards full forward. In short, Richardson punches away. Francis held. Play on. Barnett. Rock struts the tackle. Then kicks it a little further away from goal, but gave Scholl an opportunity. Hand pass was good. McAdam bounces awkward. Got out of the road pretty quickly. Tried to take the football with him. Not successful. Brad Rowe takes it over. Boundary throw in right half forward for North Melbourne.
Good passage of play there by Anthony Rocco. He's having a pretty torrid battle with Tony Shaw. Both players picking up a number of possessions. Have been in the middle of the ground for the entirety of the quarter.
Notice Gerard Schwartz has been in the goal square for the last 5 minutes for North Melbourne.
Yes, well, he started in the middle of the ground. And Paul Williams for Collingwood.
Ex-captain bloodied there, Tony Shaw. 293 league games as opposed to this competition. Going for 300 this year if he's retained in the squad.
Another free kick to Tony Francis, who has been busy in this first quarter. A little bit patchy last year, had some good games, but also went missing on a number of occasions. Still has to come to terms with being closely guarded.
Kick made it to centre wing. Here's Brad Plain. Ben Archer. Very late now in the opening term. Less than a kick between the two. Rowan Dacos for Collingwood. Carey's got the 2 for North Melbourne. McCartney and Roberts. Archer helps out over the back. Punches it about 30 metres towards North's goal. Watson's handball to Shaw, and he just steps over the line.
And what's the defensive work of Anthony Stevens on Tony Francis if it comes on picture here? He's a terrific defensive player. There you see him with one hand on Tony Francis and comes up with the football.
Free kick against Roberts. McCartney squares it to Butcher. Gets him in the centre. 30 seconds remaining in this opening term. Collingwood needs a quick attack. Centre half forward. Buckley running onto it. Free kick. Now we know he's a thumping kick. Rocker might be the target.
You'd have to set a record to kick this one.
Centre half forward. Rocker is the target. Doesn't quite get there. Free kick to Severio. In the back against Longmire.
So we've got 2 men standing one another, who last year kicked 140-odd goals between them. So the siren has gone, and Rocker can go back and put Collingwood in front at quarter time.
Well, despite the fact that Longmire has given away a free kick, he would have to be very relieved to get his first quarter of football in an official game over and done with after such a monstrous knee injury. Only 6 months recuperation. Quite amazing.
2-1, 2-3 the score. Rocker leans back, kicks it very strongly and misses. So at quarter time, it's North Melbourne bar behind. It's Collingwood 2-2, North Melbourne 2-3.
For the first time, live Monday night footy action in the Foster's Cup. From Waverley Park in Melbourne, St Kilda meets Richmond. The Saints under new coach Stan Alves. Richmond's grand finalists in 1993. So if you like your sport live, reserve Monday night, right here on 7 Sports.
Quarter time, North Melbourne bar behind. It's 2-3 to 2-2. Big welcome to the Big Dipper. What a record this man had. 8 times a premiership player, 5 times of the day, 3 times of the night. And Dipper, you're down at the goalpost. We wondered at one stage during the week whether this match would go on.
I certainly am, Bruce. And I can tell the goalposts are certainly fixed in. And there's plenty of cement in these goalposts at the moment. In swirly conditions, both coaches are very happy with their players. They've asked their players to kick the ball indirectly and not trying to bomb the ball up in the air all the time. And of course, Wayne Carey has been playing in front, and both coaches want their players to play in front. So from down here in swirly conditions, I'm looking forward to a great second quarter.
Good on you, Dipper. Great to have you with us. He's the 8th Brownlow medalist to work on 7 Sport, and one of them's working up here with us tonight.
And good to have Dipper on board. There you see in the centre of the ground the fact that there isn't a rubber pad, which is making it a little bit more difficult for the umpires to get the height from their bouncers, although one must say it hasn't affected the game at this stage. I'm just wondering, going back to the bookmakers' odds, whether they know a little bit about Collingwood's history. Since Lee Matthews took over as coach, they've won only 2 out of 10 goes at the Foster's Cup, usually going out in the first round.
Start of the second term. Collingwood to the left of screen. Nishenko Richardson jumped all over the top in that time. Stevens, Scholes, quick kick around his body. Gets up to centre half forward. Francis will get another free kick. Deserved it at centre half back. Just got a message from Dipper, Gerard, to tell me that he's the only Brownlow medalist of Italian extraction to actually be on the 7 Sport. We can't argue with that, unless you know something about yourself we don't.
Oh, dear me. Well, the football's being played, and it's Paul Williams kicking Collingwood up towards full forward. It goes through 3 or 4 players, but big Alex Ischenko gets back quickly. He's playing a grand game. He kicks it wide. There's no one home out there for North Melbourne. Mark Fraser brilliantly gets around and goes for goal. Does it nicely, but misses to the right-hand side.
There's only Fraser's second kick for the evening. He's had a pretty tough battle with Scholl for North Melbourne.
He was very good about 2 years ago, and he got cleaned up over in Western Australia by John Worsfold. And from there, his form hasn't been probably what Collingwood would have expected.
Yes, well, he tailed off last year. Some people would say the second-year blues, but really it's just up to him now to refire.
Francis, 50 metres from goal. Can't break clear. Archer. Now Stevens for North Melbourne. A high kick in towards the centre of the ground. Butcher with his eyes on the ball. Well done. Hand pass clear. Fraser. In turn Hassel. Kick across his body. Mark taken by Russell.
Goes short. Loose man running down Williams. Tight angle, but within 35, maybe 40 metres where he'll kick from.
Bruce, after North Melbourne got off to such a great start, it's been a while since they've kicked a goal. Carey kicked the first one in the opening, half a minute?
Second one within about 3.
And there's still just 2 goals.
Collingwood, dead set level at this stage. Williams from the pocket, good looking kick. Just missing again, so they haven't been far away.
Good start to the game by Paul Williams. 5 possessions in the first quarter. Could have kicked a goal there. And he's the type of player that Collingwood need to fire. They've got a few of their real champions out tonight. They're a little bit skinny on depth, and they need a few of these medium players to come through and become senior players and lead from the front.
Mashenko, Roberts, Schwass hip and shoulder on Krasiska. Butcher gets back. Barnett's handball good. Schwass, thumping kick to the goal square. McAdam sets himself, loves it from the back, running at the player, and will get it. Payne.
Yes, so North Melbourne reverting to a setup that they used quite successfully last year, where everybody was up the ground on the forward line, well outside the 50-metre zone, leaving Adrian McAdam one out. And when he is one out, he's most difficult to combat. We saw there Shane Watson just lost him for a minute. Didn't have body contact with a finger or an arm. No feedback, allowing McAdam to come all over the top.
Very intelligent handball by Barnett for Schwass on his left foot.
Set it up, didn't he? McAdam from point-blank range. Goes. North skip away to a 5-point lead against the flow at 3-3 to 2-4. McAdam's first.
Yes, and in the break, Danilchenko came off the ground for a bit of a rest. Alistair Clarkson got his first run for the season.
Good kick by Schwass, wasn't it? Thumping kick on the run.
Yep. Great option there by a young player, 19 years of age, John Barnett. McAdam, the goal kicker. Play resumes. Richardson goes for it twice. Still can't clear the centre circle region. And coming up last in that clash of players is Tony Francis. Already mentioned that he's been right in the middle of the action. Again, as Gerard has pointed out, the umpires finding it difficult to get a lot of height with their bounces. Chance for German. Kicks quickly in towards half forward. Good mark. Well done, McKernan. North Melbourne looking for big things from him. Schwass in the middle of the hand passes. Roberts was on the end of it. Roberts' kick disappointing, out of bounds on the full.
Yes, it was good work there by Corey McKernan, getting the mark and getting the quick handball. Good running also by Mark Roberts. Got away from Hurlahan. We did give him a little bit of space. Should have converted that.
Watson's kick to half-back. Richardson his target. He did have Butcher loose at centre half-back. Decided to go defensively to the boundary line. There's Kelly, acting captain tonight. Gavin Brown out with an ankle injury. And what a key he'll be, Brown, this year for Collingwood. If they can get 18 matches out of him, it'll make a big difference. Hurlahan over the back. Collingwood player going to ground. No free kick.
It is one of Collingwood's big problems, though, the amount of players they have got that are recovering from operations that they've had in the last year or two. And I think very quickly of Mick McGuan, who's had a couple of groin injuries and operations. Brown, Kelly had a reconstruction in '91.
Richardson, Rock, now Hurlahan. Williams high tackle, no free kick, bit stiff. Tap forward by Barnett. Attacking it was Hassel. Now Stevens. A fumble first, then a left foot kick to centre half forward. Free kick going to Kelly against Carey. For hanging on. Now he's got Fraser very wide, Kelly, if he sees him. McAdam. Oh, gee, a bit stiff there, Kelly, wasn't it?
Oh.
McAdam behind the mark.
Well, they probably ruled that by going laterally, he went off the line of the mark, so play on was called.
Williams centering kick, clash of bodies there. Eshenko amongst it, along with Krasiska. Shaw, Watson, wide. Francis couldn't quite hold it. German all over the top of him. Still Francis, still German with him. Houlihan tries to strike a tackle, can't. Goes, holding the footy. Schwarz's free kick at centre wing.
I don't mind that, Bruce, as long as the umpires are consistent. That player tackled very quickly, Damien Houlihan, and the free kick going to Peter German. His kick goes towards the 50-metre line, clears the pack, kicked away by Mark Richardson. Very quickly, Russell leads Clarkson. Around his body goes Russell. Well done.
Great kick.
Pinpoints Fraser, and he's off. His kick into the pocket. Over the head of Buckley. Through goes McCarthy. Short kick by that player towards centre wing. Mark taken by Rock. North Melbourne mounting something, although the football is probably 2.5 kicks from their goal. In towards half forward. Well done, Mark Richardson. Strong, like a big man should be. Butcher. Poor kick, Blakey. And through comes Plain. And Archer for North Melbourne. Clarkson gives it back to Archer. Strong play by that player. Up towards the 50-metre line. Nearly the mark to Kelly. Out comes Watson. Backing himself. Handball into the path of Hassel. Hassel short kick. Onto centre wing. Missed Bradley Plain when he should have hit him. Through comes Archer. Archer's left foot kick. In short. Mark taken by Watson.
I'm sure Lee Matthews will be pretty pleased with the way Craig Kelly has fought back. Had a slow start with the North Melbourne skipper kicking 2 quick goals, but since then, it's been quiet.
Watson's kicked to centre wing. Mickey Martin got rid of his opponent, McCartney. German runs it over the boundary line with a handball. Collingwood fans roar for deliberate. It would have been pretty tough against this veteran. His role has changed over the years. Interchange coming up. McKernan off. DeMamiel coming on for North. The new boys. Stevens. Going to give up the footy for holding it. Squaring kick by McCartney. Williams has got some space here if he gets around Stevens. He does. Attacks the goal. Rocker in the front spot. The spoil by Longmire was good. Rowe being ridden into the ground. Free kick. Talk about the changing face of footy. You see it in this one man.
You also see it on the challenge bank insignia there printed on the football. Last year it was the Golden Arches that caused such a furore. Within a couple of years it'll be just an expected thing of football.
Rowe to put Collingwood in front if he can go. He's hooked it. They've had some chances in this quarter, Collingwood. Smith to bring her back in. Collingwood trails North Melbourne by 4 points in a low-scoring Foster's Cup match.
Ross Smith with the football for North Melbourne. 3-3, plays 2-5. Richardson high, couldn't take the mark. Tony Shaw quickly. Playing at the back. Oh, he got around in front, but did he have hold of McCarthy? No, the umpire has paid the mark to Bradley Plain. And he's been quite lively in the first quarter in particular. A chance here to kick his first goal for Collingwood. Now, that was the thing I was questioning. He did put his arms over the top of Adam McCarthy to get the front spot, but the umpire all clear the mark and all clear the goal.
Maggie's in front. First time tonight. 23-21. Eshenko, Schwartz didn't quite get onto it, but Carey made front position against Kelly and was able to take it on his chest 40 metres from goal.
Came out of the centre far too easily, Bruce. An easy punch from the big fellow Eshenko went to Wayne Schwartz, who ran forward. and his man wasn't within cooey. All the Collingwood players were in their half of the ground.
The first 2 goals of the match, missed a very easy one. After that, should really have 3. And that looks pretty good. 3 now to Carey. And Collingwood's stay in front, this time at least, was very short-lived.
And straight down the middle, coming out of the centre. You'll see here a big punch there. Only 1 Collingwood player in the back half there against 3. That's not good enough. A little bit unfair on Craig Kelly.
So, back at the centre. This time Mark Richardson's a little closer and effectively gets the tap out. It's chopped off by Martin. He's kicked towards half forward. Will be rode brilliantly by Roberts. Handball Rock. In trouble. Trying to get clear. Roberts, tricky little hand pass for Stevens. Schwass is caught. He's gone. Must be penalised. Wayne Schwass and Damien Houlihan comes in to just remind him that maybe a hand pass could have been a little bit better. Getting the football on. Kick goes wide. Butcher, good hands. Had his eyes right on the football. Should be a handy player for Collingwood this year, I would think. Kent Butcher. Kick wide into the right forward pocket region. Rocker taken away by Clarkson. Back for Blakey. Blakey's quick kick. Marked by McCartney. Great to see Jason McCartney in the Collingwood colours after a pretty good season a couple of years ago. Just a little out of sorts with injury and what have you last year. McCartney's kick in towards the goal square. No mark taken. Punched away. Attempted kick off the ground was by German. Through comes Roberts. Close to the boundary line goes Mark Roberts. Keeps it back into play. Good kick. Bradrow tackle. Dispossessed. Away goes Fraser. In turn Houlihan. Back to Rowe. Turned right into trouble. Fraser, a little tap on, was good. Houlihan too far out to score maybe. He bombs away into the square. Back goes Ischenko. Dacos has the football. A free kick has been picked out of it. It's going to come back. I think Dacos must have kicked the goal, did he, Gerard?
Yes, he rode it brilliantly. It was vintage Dacos. Threaded it from the impossible angle. And you'll see here, watch him just sit at the bottom of the pack. This is classic stuff for any young player wanting to know how to ride the pack.
Didn't quite see the end result because the free kick went back to Ischenko. Now an exchange between Buckley and Russell. Russell's kick inside 50 metres. Williams gets the front posse. Bradley Plain roving it. Hand pass over the top. Here's Rowe. Rowe goes further. Martin. He's Plain. Again, a free kick picked out of it. North Melbourne player tackled when he didn't have the football was Michael Martin. And he takes the free kick at centre half back.
It's one a couple of best and fairest of the club. Kick into the heart of the centre square. Kelly at the back of Roberts. Here the umpire yell out, play on. Roberts chips away cleverly. Gives Carey the runner, but will it sit? Watson went to attack. Carey tried to tap it in the McAdam direction. Didn't quite get that far. Kelly's handball. Good take by Watson low. Then had a bit of vision too. Beautiful football, Watson. Butcher probably should have taken it. Francis like a good rover will twist and turn and find a bit of space. And then go to centre wing. Wide. And out.
Yes, well, Tony Francis did everything right there, but elected to go with a kick when he had Kent Butcher. It would have run 40 metres had he handballed, Robert.
27-23. Martin was in the front spot. Scholl got a very quick kick away up to centre wing.
And the ball close to the boundary line goes over in front of Kent Butcher and John Barnett. So we'll have a throw in. 4 goals 3, plays 3 goals 5. North Melbourne leading. Hasn't been a real big margin in the game so far. Could have been about 14 points at the start of the game. And players getting pats on the head there for very good close-in work.
There's O'Meara forced to the ground. Adam McCarthy having a rest.
So the bounce is on pretty well centre wing. Both ruckmen jumping early. McCartney and Martin. Underneath all that is a football somewhere.
North Melbourne's true ruckman. He's up at centre half back, and he's having a bit of a glue with Damien Houlihan. McCarthy ends a couple of divisions out of his way.
Yes, you would think so. Craig Scholl tries to get the hand pass. Advantage is paid, so North Melbourne allowed to get away there. from centre wing or right half forward, Peter German. Carey, handball, chopped off by Mark Richardson. His kick goes very wide. Probably could have done a little bit better, but at least he's given Buckley the chance to run at it with Blakey. And Buckley keeps his footing. Handball, good. In trouble, Fraser. Tap on, not too bad. Going after it now for North Melbourne was... Is that Carey all the way down there? By gee, he's done some running, hasn't he? After contesting at centre half forward, he's run all the way down, and the play is at left half back for North Melbourne, right half forward for Collingwood, about 50, 60 metres around from the Collingwood goal. Scholl up high, gets an effective tap away from the pack. Buckley has the football, bashes it forward for Collingwood, kept it moving in their direction. McCartney and Kelly. Kelly goes down, Martin's quick kick. Gathered by Ramiro, tackled by Houlihan, was good. Houlihan, kick off the ground, fortuitously lands with Tony Shaw. In turn to McCartney, Collingwood go forward.
Rock of the target, body to body with Longmire, and out of play. Collingwood mounting some pressure here on North Melbourne at 3-5 to 4-3.
I'd have to be impressed by the way they've played Collingwood. Brown, McGuan right, Pert and Moncourse out, Alan Richardson, big names.
Saw Stan Magro a moment ago with the assistant coach with Lee Matthews. Butcher shoved out of the way by Schwass, and he'll get a free kick. In the centre square, Rocker goes early, goes in his direction. Longmire, good take by Longmire, then gave it away. Plain looked for a free kick. Rowe tried to break a tackle, couldn't. Longmire sits and waits. 175 days, missed just one match with that serious knee injury and operation. What a comeback. Ramiro got it from Stevens to centre wing. Kelly gets a free kick, shoved in the back. Captain against captain tonight. Carey on top for the moment with his 3 goals. Williams takes it wide from Kelly and goes to centre half forward. Rocker goes hard, but not good enough, and Blakey able to take and swing it out towards the centre wing.
Good kick too, goes out in front of Craig Scholl and Mark Fraser. Scholl handles the football pretty well and gets his kick away. A high one, in towards half forward. Marking contest, Krasiska and Roberts. Krasiska the first to recover. Taps it on near the centre of the ground. Gathered Tony Shaw. Handball over the top was pretty good to Mark Richardson. In turn, Watson in trouble. Quick hands, free kick. Advantage must be with Collingwood. Throwing the ball, was it?
Well, whilst that passage of play was happening, Schwass came off the ground. He must have just gone to the telephone because he's back up from the boundary and about to come back on.
Well, the umpire a lot closer to that throwing incident than we are here, I guess, and Collingwood fans not too happy because Craig Kelly was away. They would have had the ball certainly within scoring distance.
Well, with the 3 umpires, one would hope that they're a bit closer.
North Melbourne are 4 points in front, close to half-time. 3 of their goals have been kicked by Wayne Carey. Oh, that could be out on the full. Gamamiel's a chance. No, Hassel was the Collingwood player in question there. But the umpire has decided that a throw-in will take place 55 metres around from the North Melbourne goal.
Gamamiel came on for Schwass, and he might be coming off for him straight away. Still on that 50-metre mark, holding the ball. Ooh. Against Krasiska.
Pretty hot.
To Roberts. Yes, there's the swap. Schwass back on, taking the message from Pagan.
Roberts can thump a ball. Both drop punt and torpedo. Could be an outside chance from here.
Missed an easy one, didn't he, on the run earlier in this quarter when he kicked it out of bounds on the full?
Did kick a big one at the MCG in a game last year, if I remember rightly.
Did he ever? Well, he got the distance, but to the near side, which helped.
The wind just bringing that ball towards the television position.
28 to 23. Waverley Park, big crowd for this opening match.
Time on, of course, not coming into play until the player kicks the ball.
Gets good distance, Butcher straight down the centre. Ashenko was at the back of Kelly. Now Carey.
Great hands.
Scholl had a bit of time. Centering kick. mistake really there by German and Ramiro. They both had good chances. Ramiro's quick kick, McAdam. Fortuitous.
He does play that way a little bit though, Bruce. Likes to be 4 or 5 metres behind his man, and that's twice that Watson has lost him, just with the quick kick.
I just still wonder if Ramiro had time to really look though, Drew. That's what I was thinking. It was a quick kick away. Basically just trying to get it onto his boot. McAdam was in the right spot. Well, this would be handy, wouldn't it? In a low-scoring game, if they could get the goal here, which they should, it would give North a couple of goal break with 3 minutes remaining in the first half. McAdam's kick. To go.
North Melbourne lead by 11 points, close to half-time. In the first match of the Foster's Cup, Mark Richardson gets it clear, but Anthony Rock, a quick kick up to the right point of the square. Handball, McCarthy couldn't get through. Ischenko was dispossessed. Scholl, quick kick to the 50-metre line. Oh, good mark taken by Roberts over the top of Hassel and his opponent, John Barnett.
Once again, well done by North Melbourne, getting the ball out of the centre. Adam McCarthy has come down, followed Brad Rowe onto the ball, and he took his part in getting it out.
Roberts, another shot from a similar position to the previous one, and it's knocked through eventually by Watson for a rush behind to the Kangaroos. 5-5 plays 3-5.
North Melbourne will have to do something about the system from those set kicks. They've bombed the ball in a number of times. They really haven't got the full forward there to take the big grab. Still with Carey not there.
Houlihan kicks in. Nearly the mark taken by Scholl. Picked up by Schwass. His quick kick, fairly well ineffective, but puts the defence of Collingwood under a bit of pressure. Stevens quickly. Kicking towards full forward. Great mark. Gee, that's a terrific effort by Carey. Running with the flight of the ball, throwing himself at it.
Well, let's go back to that magnificent handball there by Adam McCarthy. All the players are giving him a pat on the back because it was hot as Hades, and he did it well. Got the ball on the Schwass, I think it was, who kicked the ball down. And here we saw, oh, it was Anthony Stevens, in fact. Perhaps North Melbourne's only overhead mark. What a sensational one it was at that.
Well, Carey's kicked 3, McAdam has kicked 2, and Bruce has already mentioned that the goal by McAdam gave them a 2-goal break. Well, right on half-time, Carey has given them a...
Some inspirational football there. One from a very young man, McCarthy. The other by the captain, Carey, has given North a 3-goal lead. Stevens streams out of the centre. McAdam at the back. Ball bouncing. Ramiro sits, waits, can't break the tackle. Handball away to the pocket. Kelly runs it out of play.
And Collingwood certainly missing Damien Moncourse. North Melbourne just getting too many freebies out of the centre. Once again, just an easy tap from Ischenko. Saw Stevens running free, and I think Collingwood have really got a man up more on that centre.
Why aren't those guys covered on the defensive side of the bounce?
Well, they should be, certainly.
Ischenko at the back. Richardson's kick didn't go very far. Ramiro has got a bit of time to do something. Stevens' handball. Scholl should go. Sets himself and misses. Had a great chance there, and suddenly the gates have opened here, haven't they, for North? At 6-6 to 3-5, a critical period in the match now. Collingwood cannot afford another goal against them.
Is that old story in the centre bounces, though, as the game gets on. Shorter men can't jump as high, but big men don't get any smaller.
I'll work that out in a minute. Butcher's kicked a half-back.
That's not too difficult, Bruce.
I've got it. Thank you, Robbo. Made a bit of sense, didn't it? There's Brad Rowe.
I think at the end of the night, what Jared's saying, obviously, is that those big fellas, right, they keep standing up, don't they?
He's got pre-marriage jitters.
No, it was my first joke for the year.
Yeah.
Free kick. Richardson from half-back. So Collingwood hanging on now after that. Made a fair bit of the running. Oh, Archer, what a beauty from the side. Seemed to hang in there forever. Took some great marks last year. It was a very good one. Ischenko, strong at centre-half forward. Inside the last half-minute, players everywhere for North. Collingwood falling apart. Roberts chips it to McAdam. McAdam, too cheeky.
Need to do that. That is not on. He'll pay for that at some stage during the season. It may take a long while, but you just don't antagonise your opposition with that sort of stuff.
Well, he could have just turned around and kicked the goal rather than hand the footy out. But he'll kick it now. And McAdam and Carey have kicked all the goals in the first half for North. And it's about what you would expect as a result. But they're the two men that have got the 7 goals for North. And suddenly North Melbourne have raced away. And at half-time it's 7-6 to 3-5.
Can Ernie Earls hold off Norman and Parry? The Masters concludes tomorrow.
It's 1994 and North needs you. Become a part of the great tradition. 125 years of kangaroo football history and membership of our great club can be yours. Phone this number now. Join the champions of past and present and take the great leap forward with the Kangaroos in '94. Call this number now for membership details. Remember, North needs you.
Well, North Melbourne really opened the match up as part of that first half, and at half-time they've got a big lead now over Collingwood. Carey and McAdam have kicked them all, 4 and 3. It's 7-6 to 3-5. North Melbourne celebrating its 125th year, and our special half-time guest is the chairman of the North Melbourne Football Club, Ron Casey. Casey must be delighted with the last 5 minutes of that first half.
Pretty nervous up until Bruce, I can tell you. The team's a little scratchy, I think, because we had a hit out in one practice match against Fitzroy last Friday up at Sunbury, but it was the ground was waterlogged and it really wasn't an exercise in football. It was an exercise in physical work, but nothing else. So it's taken them a while to you know, find touch, but the game's got a long way to go. You know what football is. Anything can happen.
How important is the Foster's Cup to North Melbourne?
Well, every game's important to North Melbourne. This is a very important year for us. We're making a very determined effort to build our membership. Only 3 clubs last year drew more cash at the turnstiles in Melbourne than North Melbourne, but we want to convert that into membership, and to do that, of course, you've got to be able to supply your followers with good regular performances. We believe that the team played great football last year, very exciting football. Things were disappointing towards the finish, but that happens in football, and we're very hopeful that this year will be a very strong performance. So to answer your question directly, every game's important.
Okay, it's a lot better to be playing here at Waverley Park for North Melbourne against Collingwood first up, rather than go to Adelaide last year and get thumped by the Crows.
Well, I mean, the club was in a crisis situation. Things looked very bleak at that time, but the boys have rallied well. They've got behind Dennis Pagan. The club is a very tight-knit organisation, and we believe that we can go on and provide our supporters, and we hope there's going to be a lot of them this year, with very exciting football.
Okay, so they look a bigger team. I mean, has Dennis Pagan bulked them up in the off-season?
Well, Dennis has given every player an individual program that he expected them to work to up until Christmas. They were weighed, measured, and all the other things that go on regularly. They came back from the holiday break before just a few days over Christmas and into match practice. So, yes, they have been working very, very hard indeed.
Ron, pleasure to talk to you. Good luck for the rest of the season in the 125th year.
Don't forget Mornington Cup on Wednesday, Bruce. It'll be a great day down there too.
Good on your case. Ron Casey, the chairman of the North Melbourne Football Club. And a reminder, tomorrow morning, I hope you can join us on Sports World when we have a very special...
It's the name of the game.
I think my father was. Yeah, he's played a bit when he was younger. Yeah, my opponent. The first half of the news, because I like the sport. None that you want to know about. Bucks will do. I'd actually drive a BMW. Probably Lee Matthews after I played a bad game. I don't know. Definitely the 1992 Premiership with Port Adelaide. Confidence, I suppose. Just trying to do my best at whatever I do. I think Wayne Carey was a bit unlucky last year, and he should go close this year.
Nathan Buckley spending a minute with him. Let's spend a minute with a man who has won a Brownlow medal, the Big Dipper, who's in the vicinity of the Collingwood change room. Surely Lee Matthews will let you in, Dipper. What's happening down there?
Well, obviously I can't get into my old teammates' room, but it's very quiet in there. But I've actually been in the North Melbourne rooms, and they did allow me to go in there, and they're very happy with that quarter. But Collingwood here, they're all screaming in there, and hopefully they can come out in the third quarter and perform better.
Dipper, I can't believe he won't let you in. You gave him half of his goals throughout his career.
Now, people did tell me it's going to be very hard on the boundary, and just on the ground itself, the tension between the players is very tight down there, and there's a lot happening off the ball. And what McAdam did in front of that goal square isn't certainly going to help the tension on the field, Bruce.
Yes, it should stir Collingwood up. Thanks for that, Dipper. Second half coming up shortly after this break.
It's the name of the game.
North Melbourne by 25 points at half-time. Both teams back on the ground. Gerard Healy and Ian Robertson to talk about the opening half.
Well, I think that it was quite evident that North Melbourne, through Carey, looked damaging in the early part of the game. They kicked 2 goals, Wayne Carey. But then it was a very quiet period for the Kangaroos. Collingwood fought back, and they played pretty well in the latter part of the first quarter and early in the second term. But then Collingwood just went missing, Gerard.
Yeah,
North
so
Melbourne dominated that second term.
Well, I think it all goes back to the centre bounce takeaways. North Melbourne 9, Collingwood only 2. And Collingwood had many players, many individuals that went out of the game. Well, Nathan Buckley really hasn't got into the game at all. He's being manned up well by Blakey for Collingwood, and he's had similar... Blakey for North Melbourne, I should say. He's had similar stats. Anthony Rock getting plenty of the football. He's having a good battle with Tony Shaw. Shaw a little bit quiet in the second term. And Damien Houlihan has had a couple of touches of the football. He'll get better, a young player, but Mark Roberts is stitching him up at the present time.
If you like your sport live, don't forget St Kilda and Richmond. Monday night Foster's Cup action here on 7.
And the player that probably most teams will have to contend with if they're to beat North Melbourne this year, Wayne Carey, and there's Wayne Schwass's individual statistics. So Carey at half-time has kicked 4 goals, and Adrian McAdam has kicked 3 goals. So again, they look as though they're going to be 2 of North Melbourne's major goal kickers for this coming season.
Sanderson back on for Collingwood for the first time. And we're about to start the second half. Dennis Pagan in the North Melbourne camp wasn't coaching North Melbourne in the opening match of the Foster's Cup last year.
Collingwood need a big lift out of Tony Francis. Had a good first quarter, went a little bit quiet in the second. Scott Russell getting a few kicks.
Can I ask you a question about the centre bounce? If the opposition ruckman is getting beaten and the takeaways are too evident, wouldn't you as a coach try and give one guy the job to be on the negative side of that centre circle?
Well, I'm sure that would have happened. There'd be a man-on-man situation, and I'm sure Matthews would be irate as we go into the first bounce.
Rocker in the centre square for Collingwood, so change there. Richardson at full forward. Houlihan's gone to a forward pocket. Matthews has run some changes at half-time. McCarthy overran that one. Smith's kick off the ground, well taken by Francis. Sweeps a handball out to Shaw. Got a quick right foot kick away to centre half forward. Blakey running back, he's done the job on Buckley. Buckley snapshot, rolling, goal! What a great start for the Woods. Out of the blue, came from nowhere.
Just the start the Pies needed. And we're going to see many, many more goals from Nathan Buckley. There's Francis bombing up, doing it well, getting it on to Tony Shaw. Not a great kick with his left, let alone his right. But here it is, out of nowhere. Great goal sense. And a touch of luck, I'd say.
Well done by Nathan Buckley. There's a lot of pressure on that young man, having crossed from the Brisbane Bears over the summer.
He's lining up the centre half forward.
A couple of concerned men there, Lee Matthews and Stan Magro.
Collingwood, of course, didn't get him for nothing. They gave away Craig Starcevich and Troy Lehman, both very good players. Starcevich, of course, very good player in their grand final in 1990.
Rocker in the ruck, up against Tischenko. Kicked away for Collingwood. Up towards half forward. Buckley went hard for the football. McCarthy is there, Buckley again. Well done, Nathan Buckley, already 2 possessions early in the 3rd term, but the kick towards full forward has been marked by John Longmire, coming out in front of young Mark Richardson. Longmire, much discussed footballer over the summer. Kick out towards the wing, knocked away by McCarthy, rebounds to the centre. Bradley playing, looks as though he may be playing in the middle. In towards full forward, no mark taken, but being held. According to the umpire, he's in a great spot to make that decision. And Mark Richardson will have the free kick about 47 metres out on a slight angle.
Well, you saw it perfectly there on screen. Left hand of Longmire was grabbing Mark Richardson and impeding his progress. Good decision from the umpire, who was perched only some 10 metres away.
One of the advantages of the 3rd umpire on the
I think when it settles down, Robert, it will be regarded as an excellent move.
Richardson's kick for goal. Oh, it's a beautiful kick. It's a goal.
Maggie's coming back hard here. Collingwood, poor bounce. Ashenko. Rocker's made a difference in the centre square. Williams tried to break the tackle. Shaw, quick kick under great pressure. Bouncing ball. Buckley, brilliant. Absolutely great take. Left foot kick was very good, and a terrific mark by Richardson. Wonderful footy by Collingwood. Buckley's kick was excellent.
I've been impressed with Mark Richardson. He was beaten in the 2nd term in the ruck, in the centre bounces, but this is a good fight back by a youthful player.
A good fight back by Collingwood all round. I'd say he's been the man with the spark. I'm not sure it was such a great kick, Bruce. Bit of a mongrel, but it did achieve the result. A good goal there to Mark Richardson.
2 goals in a minute. And Collingwood charging back.
There's Michael Christian coming onto the ground, replacing Todd Curley. Once again, it gets down to centre bounces. Tony Shaw has been doing it for many, many years. 293 games. Can he get to that magical 300?
So play resumes. Back in the centre. Rocker beaten for it this time by Ischenko. Nothing much can be done there. Look at that crush of players. Bradley playing, Anthony Stevens. And Anthony Stevens not giving up the football.
Had a fantastic year last year. Real surprise packets. Like a dog after a bone.
And those 3 names there were the experimental ones, with 3 umpires officiating here for the Foster's Cup. It is a trial.
Well, Shaw is back in town. He's telling the umpires how to run the show. He's a little bit quiet, I noticed, up in Darwin last week. Didn't get too many touches, but his confidence is zooming.
When he's missing, I think we'll all miss him, Tony Shaw. He's been a great player.
I know Diesel will miss him.
Centre half forward for Collingwood. Williams gets through. Buckley again from a standing position. This is one of his attributes. The kick covered the players near the goal square, but was slightly offline and through for just 1 behind.
He's had more kicks in 5 minutes in this 3rd quarter than he had in the opening half. No coincidence that Collingwood's within a goal because of that. Changes have worked so far, haven't they? Buckley centre half forward, Rocker into the ruck, Richardson with 2 goals from full forward. Clarkson against the flow, high tackle, free kick. North have got to steady it here. Just felt Houlihan's hand and ran down it. And was able to get the free. Clarkson hugging the boundary line. Ashenko, Rocker. Ashenko takes the mark. With a give off to German, put him under pressure. Russell was able to take it off Ashenko. Still with Russell at half forward. Normally constructive. Centering kick. Richardson puts himself in the front spot. Longmire at the back. Will it sit up for Smith? He did very well. Left foot defensive kick up the centre wing. Attacking the footy, Kosiska. Clever. On the run, Williams into the pocket. Not a good kick.
Oh. Well, I thought he could have got there, Damien Houlihan. Made the big dive. The move of Buckley to centre half forward not only has worked wonders for Collingwood, it has unbalanced North Melbourne somewhat. They've had to shift Michael Martin down to the half forward line. Collingwood responded by putting Michael Christian onto him. The ball hasn't been down in North Melbourne's forward zone this quarter.
Richardson gets the tap away, but it's taken by Longmire. A quick kick by that player. and it rolls over for a throw-in about 60 metres around from the Collingwood goal. Collingwood have done all the attacking so far in this third quarter. There's John Longmire. There's Jenko and Mark Richardson.
Shepherding or holding in there.
Can clearly hear the umpire. Clarkson with the football, can't break clear. Underneath there is Anthony Stevens, number 17 for Collingwood. Is Brenton Sanderson, who was recruited by Collingwood in the Brett Chalmers deal. Brett Chalmers, of course, playing with the Crows. And Brenton Sanderson lining up with the Magpies. The ball up about 55 metres from the Collingwood goal. Diving on it, Tony Francis. Anthony Stevens doing a tackle there, and the umpire quickly on the scene. Don't mess around because a free kick will be given away pretty quickly. Still the players.
Come on, fellas, come on, just play for me, all right?
To regain their footing, and now the umpire will restart play.
Ashenko and Richardson. Ashenko won it. Shaw read it pretty well, couldn't break the tackle. Richardson's handball playing. You'd back him from here on the run. Scores level at Waverley Park. 25-point margin at half-time. Collingwood has come charging out. Ashenko's handball. Punch back to centre-half forward before Collingwood. Out wide. Rock. No free kick. Sanderson taken off him by McCarthy, and now German. German's left foot to a space at centre-half forward. Bad bounce for Butcher. Ramiro. Tackle, free kick.
In trouble, that young bloke, I'd say.
Yeah, I hope he's all right.
In lots of trouble.
Ramiro still laying on the ground, hasn't moved too much.
It was a bad blow, Gerard. That
timing was all right, wasn't it?
Well, he put his head over the ball and was collected. Skipper won't care. He didn't think it was all that legitimate. He's made some noises about it. And we see the axe coming through there. And one would imagine there may be a little bit said about that later in the week.
Schwartz to take the free. Ramiro groggy off to the side. Scores level here. Schwartz has got onto this. It's right to the goal square. Good kick off hands. North Melbourne in front. A point.
In the back of the pack there, you would have seen Adrian McCann trying to pack John, take mark of the century.
Well, I'm glad that Jose Ramiro has regained his footing, because that did look a real bad blow that he received. But he's off the ground and back on as Daniel Chenko for North Melbourne. Butcher gets it to Christian. Christian is at left half back. Short kick. Mark taken by Craig Scholl. Been a good player for North Melbourne over the last few seasons, Craig Scholl. And looks set for another good one in 1994. The kick towards full forward. Collingwood defence under a little bit of pressure. Some old hands combined there. Christian, Tony Shaw and Chris Siska. Chris Siska's kick goes out near the wing. Buckley at the back. Can he get it across to Russell? He tried, he saw him, but that little tap on was probably ineffective by Nathan Buckley standards. And Craig Scholl takes it over for a boundary throw in. Nathan Buckley looking for the free kick.
I think it's just,
boys will be boys.
I think he was beaten just a little bit there for pace. You saw Scott Russell peel off, which perhaps wasn't the correct decision. Maybe he should have gone over and effected a spoil on Craig Scholl, allowing Buckley to go free.
Roberts got it from Schwartz to centre-half forward. Carey. Gee, he'd love to kick a couple against Kelly now, wouldn't he? He's already got 4. Rock. McCann goes early, takes a beauty.
Far better player when he's out in front. We'll take 1 out of 100 trying to pack jump, but that's much more effective. And the player on screen there, Adam McCarthy, has shown on a couple of occasions that he has a real football brain and obviously a big future ahead of him. Magnificent hot hands in the second quarter to set up a big goal.
68 goals in 17 matches last year. Kicked 3 up until half-time. All in the second term. This to put North Melbourne 7 points in front from 45 metres. Leans back, hooks it and misses. Tipper, what's the situation with Ramiro?
Well, Ramiro's okay. His eyes are a little bit classy, but he did ask who hit him.
He did he?
Yeah, he said, who was that?
I wonder if he really wants to know. I don't think he tackled the guy that did it.
Did they tell him, Dipper?
I did.
You did. Here's Butcher. 2 points the difference.
The kick by Butcher to left half back, nearly the mark to Kelly, disputed with Ischenko. Chance for Martin. Ischenko in the action again. So was Anthony Stevens in that exchange. The ball was fickle for Craig Kelly. Away goes Roberts. Roberts' kick to the left-hand point of the square. McAdam, what's he done out of the mid-air? Registers are behind.
Gee, it's a cracking match, isn't it?
Well, for a first-up game, it's been very, very interesting. 7-9 play, 7-6 North by 3 points. Goals for North Melbourne, kicked by just 2 players. Wayne Carey with 4, McAdam with 3. Collingwood's leading goal scorers are Mark Richardson and Bradley playing with 2 each.
Butcher taking his time, looking at the options. Pretty good kick, gets good distance. Rocker was at the back. Collingwood off hands. Payne's been good. Fraser's away. Bull runs his fair share. 2 fall forward. Longmire takes a chance. Smith and Archer against Dacos. Richardson coming in late. If Collingwood can get it out of play, they'll do pretty well in this setup. No, Smith able to keep it in. But then the kick is a good one to Scholl. Scholl's got a bit of space. Should have run a bit further before he bounced. He had some time. Russell tried to run him down. Kelly was in the front spot. Rock attacks it hard. Shaw puts the pressure on. Strong work by Francisca. Well played Fraser on the up. Williams on the run. Chips it towards Houlihan in the front spot. Couldn't quite hold it. Well played Archer. The footy's good here at the moment. It's tight and tense. Collingwood have got a chance. In the pocket, Fraser. Side step, should kick a goal. Collingwood should be in front. He misses. Just the point. And Collingwood chip away. Fraser's second point for the night. Ramiro back on the ground. Surprisingly quickly. McCartney comes on and Kelly's gone off. How ironic. Kelly leaves the field as Ramiro comes back on.
Well, just getting back to Fraser, 6 kicks he's had tonight. He's had 3 in 1 minute.
Ross Smith kicks in. Punched away by Russell. Chance now for Rock. Kicks quickly. Well done by Schwass. Forces it forward. Couldn't control it, so it goes over for boundary throw and just in front of Tony Shaw on centre wing. There's Wayne Schwass. Ruckman, Alex Ischenko and Rocker. Rocker has done pretty well since being moved there in this 3rd term. Roberts, little handball. Good. Clarkson, gather. Has a look upfield. Delivers with a 40-metre kick. McCartney in the action. Now Collingwood under a bit of pressure at left half back. Hassel got it across to Christian. Christian, Tony Shaw, this will test him. Oh, you don't test Tony. He's always in the middle of the action. And he eventually got it out to Bradley Plain. Plain's been in the action in this 3rd term. The kick to half forward. Excellent mark taken by McCarthy. Running with the flight of the ball and North Melbourne under pressure. His kick goes back near the centre of the ground. Marking contest, there was no contest. Big Alex took it in front of Rocker. Peter German, hand pass away to Clarkson. Clarkson's kick is good. Goes directly towards half forward, punched away by McCartney, picked off by Shaw, then Butcher. Now Williams on centre wing, a long kick by Williams. There's no one home for Collingwood. And reading it a little bit better than Dacos was Ross Smith, and he marks in front of his Collingwood opponent. Transfers play to the right-hand side of the ground. Clarkson gives it to Longmire. He goes straight down the centre. It's at centre half forward. Punched away by McCartney, but he is holding on there to Wayne Carey. And again, that 3rd umpire. So very, very important. He could see that because he was in a great posse. Wayne Carey is about 60 metres out, directly in front. He would have to get onto one of his very, very best kicks. He goes in short. McAdam knocked away there by Hassel. Gives the hand pass away to Butcher. Butcher's vision not bad. Kicks it into the path of Watson. Down comes Williams. A little tap for Watson. Well done, Watson. Under pressure. Tony Shaw also was. Good hands, Krasiska. Away for Williams. Williams is on centre wing. He gets past. And he goes long in towards the half-forward area. No mark taken. Here's an opportunity for Dacos. He tries to tap it into the path of Fraser. Scholl is there, and well done, Mark Fraser, to hold it up for the Magpies, 65 metres from their goal.
Well, last year the Magpies were 6 love and on top of the ladder in the opening 6 weeks of the season. That did it because they were playing running football, a little bit like they've played this quarter. If they're going anywhere this season, they're going to have to find that running spark once again.
Kelly was like a caged lion then on the interchange, wanting to get back. Why wouldn't you in a game like this? McKernan came back for North Melbourne. Rowe getting warmed up for Collingwood. So both Pagan and Matthews taking advantage of the 4 interchange. Russell ran onto it beautifully, runs to the boundary and kicks a goal. Well, the last time Collingwood hit the lead, it lasted about 30 seconds. Dacos off, Rowe on. Big thump away by McKernan to centre half forward. Martin missed by Stevens. There was an opportunity. Williams held it up. Collingwood get it back to centre or to half forward.
Well done. It's Sanderson and McCarthy. Sanderson now, a big chance. Little hand pass, Brad Rowe caught by McCarthy. He's able to get away to Buckley. Buckley is absolutely brilliant off both sides. This kick got good distance, but not the accuracy, and through for his second behind.
There's Peter Dacos' replacement, Brad Rowe, immediately into the action.
Gee, look at that. Kelly Dacos Gafer. They've played some footy between them, haven't they?
Yes.
How much have they got left?
Very good servants of the Collingwood Football Club. Archer's kick into the right half-back region. Big punch by Buckley. Got it back again. Handball away. Russell sneakily to Fraser. Fraser kicks it high. Goes across half-forward. No mark taken now. Fighting after it again is Rocker. Is it underneath all that? Big Sav. 50 metres from the Collingwood goal will have a bounce. Well, a Collingwood side that has got a lot of good players to come back into it, are making a real contest of this against North Melbourne. North Melbourne were long odds-on favourites to win this game. Longmire. Handball away, Blakey. You're in all sorts of trouble. All sorts of trouble. Well done, Brad Rowe.
Wasn't it a great tackle? Wrapped him up. Blakey couldn't get onto his left foot. He was penalised. Here we see they're trying to evade, but the players' tackling skills these days are fantastic. The fact that Brad Rowe wrapped up Blakey's arm made it even more difficult for him to execute some sort of possession.
So Brad Rowe directly in front. Inside 40 metres, he'll be kicking from just over, and does it very, very nicely indeed.
Notice Rocket Shaw out of the centre bounce for the first time tonight.
9-8-7-9. Collingwood's kicked the last 6 goals of the match, all in this third quarter. North Melbourne without a goal in the turn. Buckley, high tackle in the end. Sanderson off the ground. Longmire unable to turn quickly. Rose handball to Russell. Here's another one. It's raining goals. All up the right-hand end. One-way traffic. Russell with his second. What a turnaround. Mickey McGuan sits on. Lee Matthews makes another note. He must be pretty pleased, Gerald, with some of the changes he's made in this quarter.
Yes, well, certainly Brad Rowe coming onto the ground and being involved in that goal 2 minutes ago was a beauty. And again, involved, feeding it off to Scott Russell, who's kicked his second goal for the quarter. But we did see there John Longmire struggling to turn around. And that is a legacy of that operation he had. Still wouldn't have the full confidence in that knee that was reconstructed.
And I think more importantly, they've just made very good contests around that centre bounce region.
It's a key football.
It certainly is, my word. Back there, Christian gives away a little bit of ground with the hand pass to McCartney. McCartney's kick to the wing. Scholl was up early. He's able to recover and get his kick away in towards half forward. No mark taken by Schwass. McAdam, sneaky little hand pass. Into the path now of Archer. Archer, who's playing in defence, is all the way down the ground. And with a lovely executed left-foot kick, kicks a goal. Well, boy, did North Melbourne need that, because Collingwood had just bombarded the goals at the right-hand end, and they get one back. 8-9, they play Collingwood 10-8.
Watch for the shepherd here from Anthony Robb. Quite unselfish play. Could have broken away looking for the handball. And stood up in a strength battle to Jason McCartney, allowing Glenn Archer to kick a goal.
Ten 8 to 8-9. Richardson in the ruck. Germans, high kick. Going about 30 metres, Martin and Christian. Good take by Clarkson. Back towards German, conceding ground north for the moment, under great pressure. German again, a high ball. Just hoping really, oh, good mark taken by McKernan. Sweeps the handball. German had to squeeze a little kick out. Attacking it was Schwass at half forward. Butcher, well played, held it up. The Collingwood defence has been excellent in this quarter. Francis received from McCartney and is away with a couple of bounces. All goes a long, long way in the end. Made a total mess of it. Ramiro, German, will North make Francis pay for it? Squaring kick. Archer playing up forward. Left foot by Schwass. Not bad. Very good. Bounce it through. No. Bounce the wrong way at the last minute. A point.
Looked to set, didn't it, in running?
10's on.
Oh.
Yes, so we saw Tony Francis put the dummy up for sale, but there were no takers. And he was well and truly tackled. Good example of keeping the eye on the man, not being tricked by the dummy.
No, we sound as though we're in for a big year, Bruce, with these cliches coming from our special comments man.
He's been working hard over the summer,
I think he has. Here's Bradley playing. Hand pass wide to Fraser. In turn, player loose at right half forward, Sanderson. Bounce favours that player. He's 50 metres from goal. He goes for goal. And, oh, it's hit the post. Bad luck for young Brenton Sanderson. In that passage of play as Collingwood took it the length of the ground. 10-9, 8-10. The Magpies lead by 11 points once again.
Gee, I think he thought it was home too, Sanderson. He didn't like it when it hit the post. It's a good sign, isn't it?
I would.
Smith, the German. Hasn't the tempo been raised in the last 10 minutes in this game? German's kick to centre wing. Good mark. He might have hurt himself for the moment, McKernan. Gives it off Clarkson. Didn't go very far, that footy, with about 3 different players getting hold of it. Scholl, McCartney attacked it hard, gets a free kick.
The North Melbourne need a lift from their on-ball players. Anthony Stevens was dominant in the second quarter with 9 possessions. Been a little bit quiet. Rocks faded out of him, only a couple of touches this quarter. Ian Fairley is off on the boundary line, coming off his first run this evening.
Richardson got it from McCartney, goes out wide. Here's Hassel, up to half forward, got a bit of distance. Rocker in the front spot. And that's been one of the surprises of the night. The Rocker hasn't got a goal as Fairley comes on for Martin. It's Paul Williams on screen. Collingwood's adoring fans, and haven't they got a lot of them? In all shapes and sizes. Alan McAllister says it's the most famous club in Australia of any club. Here's Shaw written into the ground. You reckon he might say that? He's the president.
He says a few things.
Michael Christian barges his way clear and then undoes all of his good work. Chopped off by Rock, in turn to Stevens. Stevens kicks towards half forward. McCartney gets rid of Carey. He's done a pretty good job negating the North Melbourne captain in this quarter. Fraser, a slick hand pass for Francis. Francis kicks across his body. It falls in short. It's going to get chopped off. Ian Fairley is there. Tackled by Houlihan was good by the Collingwood player. And he's in the action again, trying to get it clear. Rowe tackled by McCarthy. By gee, that ball's hard to get. When you get it, it's red hot. Kick by Russell. And it just misses to the left-hand side.
Interesting move by North Melbourne. Fairley coming onto the ground. He's picked up Rocker. And big John Longmire has gone back to his normal position, as we would know him last year at full forward. Now, one would suggest that perhaps North Melbourne are getting done up for pace at the moment. Brought on a fairly slow player, so Longmire will have to kick goals for this move to come off.
Big grab by Carey. 25,708 people here, paid $105,000. What a great crowd on the opening night of the Foster's Cup. Williams' little handball. Roberts put the pressure on him. Still Williams paddles it over the line. Not a bad start, 25,000. I've got a feeling they might break that already in Adelaide on Wednesday night when the Crows play the Eagles.
That'd be certainly. You'd like to get on there, wouldn't it?
That'd be better than the 10s on, Robert.
Yeah, my word.
Centre wing, North going forward, need a goal before three-quarter time. Trailing at the moment at 10-10 to 8-10 has been Collingwood's quarter. Buckley thrown away from the footy. Gets a free kick. And when you look back, Gerard, Buckley ignited this Collingwood side in the first 5 minutes of the third term.
Yes, he's going to do that on many occasions. He's a true match winner. He's very, very quiet in the first half, but good players can break the shackles.
It's a good kick to Krasiska running into it. Krasiska's handball, squares it. Russell's been important in this term. The chip not so good, fairly attacks it. Couldn't quite get through. Tony Shaw, who held it up, had a second go. Watson, well, he started as a goal kicker. He's got some options inside. Go short to Rowe. And with 30 seconds remaining, wouldn't this be a big goal to put Collingwood 3 goals in front?
Might ruin Gerard's punting for the evening.
Well, they say odds on, look on. Don't run upstairs and don't take short prizes.
No reaction from him either.
I was just looking at the wrestling, more importantly in the middle of the ground.
Rowe, 35 metres out, leans back on it. And he's missed a golden opportunity. Now the emergency umpire out there, as Gerard pointed out, some wrestling going on.
They've got a few representatives, the umpire. Plenty of them out there at the moment.
They've had an increase in the interchange, I reckon. Kick out wide to half-back. And what a terrific quarter was for Collingwood. They turned the whole match around, and at three-quarter time is the Maggies in front of 10-11 to 8-10.
If you like your sport live, don't forget St Kilda and Richmond. Monday night Foster's Cup action here on 7.
I don't know much longer this quarter will go as we see Tanner there at centre half back, driving the ball out there towards Malcolm Blade. He's got the mark. He's clear. He boots it well up towards the full forward position. There's Good with the mark. Good's got the mark. He's well within kicking distance.
The siren's gone, Lou. The umpires haven't been able to hear it, but I'm sure the siren has gone.
The siren's gone. The crowd coming onto the ground now. If Good kicks this goal, they've won the match. Oh, what a climax to this 1980 Escort Cup Grand Final. Good's already kicked 3 goals. He's only about 25 to 30 metres out, dead in front. He kicks this, they've won the game. He's put it through and North Melbourne are premiers.
Well, that was drama, wasn't it, in 1980? Kerry Good kicking it after the siren, but North Melbourne getting the points. Who will get them tonight? Collingwood at three-quarter time at 10-11. They kicked 7-6 in that quarter. That's what North kicked in the first half. North are 8-10. Let's go down and join the Big Dipper on the boundary line. Dipper, what have you got on your 7 Sports jacket there? The flashing eyes.
Well, I found another way of flashing, and the police are just about to take me off here. But they say that the heartbeat of football is the Collingwood supporters, and right behind me, have a look at them. They are pumping at the moment. Collingwood look full of running, and one thing I did hear, the Collingwood players were talking all the time that quarter. For North Melbourne, well, this is the championship quarter. They have to get back into this game, and hopefully they can.
OK, going to test you, Dipper. First up, who'll win?
Collingwood by 3 goals.
Thank you. See what sort of a judge he is.
He's never gone against the crowd yet, has he?
10-11 to 8-10. You behave yourselves. 71 to 58. Buckley, who had a terrific third quarter. So did this fellow. Scott Russell swings it inside to Francis. She was about to say, Robbo, that 3 South Australians got their hands on the footy X, but I wouldn't do that. Stevens from centre half back.
Back in towards the centre. Oh, there's a severe clash between 2 Collingwood players. But they're okay. They regain their footing. Clarkson forces the ball forward for North Melbourne. There's still a chance, North Melbourne. 13 points is the advantage in favour of Collingwood. And Krasiska takes a good mark at centre half back for the Magpies. Gavin Krasiska. Good kick out towards the wing. No mark taken. Buckley's been very good since half-time. He only had something like 4 or 5 possessions in the first half, and he's now up to about 13.
Yes, 8 touches in the third quarter, which averages out at 32 for the match, with pretty big possessions at centre half forward.
The bounce is just forward of centre wing in favour of North Melbourne. German gets his foot to the ball, and a good mark. Well done, Bradley Plain. Eyes for the football, and he's been awarded it at left half back for the Magpies.
Well, he's shown enough to suggest that he's going to be a valuable player for Collingwood.
Watson inside, just a centering kick. Wasting a few seconds, trying to set up something a little more productive. Again, Butcher on his own. Goes to centre wing. Good pass, Sanderson took it well. Handball, okay. Hassel had to stop just for a moment. Turns around to full forward. Front spot row, really should have held it. Houlihan breaks the tackle, left foot. It's a behind, no, hit the behind post, I think. And it's out of play.
Great kick there from Kent Butcher. Started his career with Geelong as a Teal Cup player for Victoria. One of his strengths has always been his kicking and long running.
Richardson and Schenko, real wrestle there. Rowe tried to break through. Schenko's left-hand handball. Shaw sweats off. Left foot centering kick, not a bad one by the ex-skipper. Richardson punched it forward. German able to get a quick kick away. Rocker gets onto it. Handball to Russell. Russell's handball, gee, went too far for France. There's a wonderful opportunity missed there. Delnachenko's quick kick, but Krasiska's got it. Collingwood have got a wall at the moment, stopping North Melbourne attacking.
Well, I think it's the players down the ground forcing North Melbourne to blaze away. And each time they do that, it's gone into Collingwood hands. Top effort by Houlihan. He goes after it again, but they're beaten for it by Ramiro. Good recovery by that player after being crashed to the ground in the third term. Butcher drops what he perhaps should have taken. Rock gets the hand pass away to Roberts. Roberts looks upfield, kicks pretty well. Nearly marked by Carey. Good bump by Krasiska, but Carey gets the hand pass away. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in at left half forward for North Melbourne. And they really must score a goal in this little foray forward if they're going to win this match. They trail still by 13 points. The scores haven't changed from three-quarter time. Ramiro leaves it behind. Tony Shaw grabs the football, and courage again shown by the former Collingwood captain. On the verge of playing 300 games of AFL football.
Plain off the ground, pretty effective, good kick in the end. It's like the old droppy. Francis was held on to get a free kick. What a turnaround for Collingwood since half-time. They looked down, not quite out, but nearly. Buckley, manhandled a bit. Rowe missed it, off the deck by Houlihan, but out of bounds on the full. That one didn't work at all.
So it's one ring at home. Longmire still at full forward for North Melbourne. Picked up by Michael Christian.
Russell.
Big third quarter from Scott Russell. 18 possessions.
Cramped up.
To that time, 3 quarters. Already had a couple in this quarter. This is a legacy of a lack of fitness. Cramping in the calf muscle. You see there the trainers affecting a stretch on that, trying to break that spasm in the muscle.
When you say fitness, match fitness, you'd reckon, wouldn't you? Because he'd be one of the fittest blokes going around, Russell.
Well, match fitness is all that counts in this game. You can be as fit as you like going for 4 and 8 kilometre runs, but it's really the tackling and the match fitness. So as aptly you described it, Bruce, it sums it up.
Cheap. Plain tries to bar through, gets a kick away. Rowe onto it. He's got a chance here. Back to Francis. Francis up in the air. Richardson, was he being held on to? Yes. Free kick.
Well, it's red hot down there now with the extra umpire. Must definitely favour the forward. You very rarely see the full forward hanging onto the jump of the full back.
Kicked a couple of goals in the third quarter. And this would be a real blow to North Melbourne's chances tonight. A goal here, and you would suggest that Collingwood would have a match-winning lead. It's kicked it.
Well, Collingwood have now kicked 8 goals since half-time to North Melbourne's solitary goal. Bradley Plain has 2 goes at getting it clear of the centre. Eventually it falls to Anthony Rock. Up to centre-half forward mark. Well done by Wayne Carey. In a real strength test. He's kicked 4. This kick will land in the square. No mark taken. Punched away by the Collingwood defenders. Gavin Krasiska, Michael Christian, both working very hard there. And it goes through for a rush behind to North Melbourne. Badly need goals. Kangaroos trail by 18 points. Just under 15 minutes left. Butcher, there's Saverio Rocker. Big lump of a man. And Butcher comes out to this near side, half-back flank region. Scholl and Schwartz combining. Punched away, back to the square. McAdam will get a goal. He gets his 4th. Quick thinking by Adrian McAdam. Advantaged by the bounce. And he was right onto it.
Yes, and don't forget that kick there by Craig Scholl. Great discipline, centred the ball, resulting in North Melbourne's first goal since Glenn Archer converted at the 23-minute mark of the 3rd.
Out wide, North Melbourne at 9-11 to 11-11. Gee, I didn't say that, did I, Rob? I didn't swap the T and the C there with that tipping chart, did I?
Ah, never mind, Bruce. We'll get the oil going, surely, in the next week or so.
Couple of goals in front, the Maggies. Mashenko, Rocker, Shaw to Francis, away, runs towards the boundary. Clever kick though, gave Buckley a chance. Free kick to McCarthy, who done some good things tonight. Blakey, Christian had his eyes on the all the way and takes it at the centre line for Collingwood. They've kicked 8 of the 10 goals in the second half. Krasiska square. Left foot kick to full forward. Sanderson at the back. Rocks handball. Intercepted by Plain. You'd back him to goal from here. He does. He's very clever.
Played well. Well, Bradley Plain's 3rd goal has given Collingwood an 18-point advantage. And with just 13.5 minutes left, it's going to be a real battle for the Kangaroos. That bounce is pretty good. Favoured Wayne Schwartz. Tidied up by McCartney. And Krasiska, who's been as solid as a rock across half-back, gets the hand pass to Tony Shaw. In turn, a little right foot kick for Francis. And that's perhaps maybe where the players just fall down early, Gerard, with that ball-handling expertise. Tony Francis would have swallowed that under normal circumstances.
Yes, a little bit of fumbling in the early part of the season, I think, is quite acceptable, although I'm sure he wouldn't have been too happy with that performance.
The ball to the back, Anthony Rock. 40-metre kick into a vacant half-forward area. Chance now for Carey. He's kicked 4. He has now kicked 5. A great kick by the captain. 5 goals for Carey, 4 goals for McAdam. And again, it's just 12 points the difference in favour of the Magpies.
Well, it's hard to believe that the man on screen kicking his 5th goal at the end of this chain had only 2 kicks in the elimination final last year when North went out in 1 shot after a fantastic season. Probably only had 3 bad games last year. It's Fitzroy in the mud when he captained New South Wales, and in that elimination final was a fantastic player all year.
Rowe out of the centre, breaks the tackle, out wide towards Francis, just outside 50. Foot kick to the pocket of Beauty. To Russell, socks down now after cramping. Kicked a couple of goals in the 3rd quarter. One of Beauty on the run. Normally an excellent kick, that one with a hook, and it's a behind. Collingwood by 13 points, 12-12, 10-11. North coming back, Asheko taking a spell on the interchange.
Well, the game's still there to be won for North Melbourne. Just got to get some system back in their play. They've lost the intensity with which they started the game.
Gee, they've relied on 2 men to kick their goals tonight, haven't they? 2 men have kicked all but one of their goals. Archer getting the other one. Here's one of them. He's kicked 5 of them, Carey. It was a clever kick in the circumstances, because had he kicked it full out, he would have kicked it out of bounds on the full. He kept it down, and ran it along.
He also had nobody up the ground making position. So in the end, it was his only option.
So can North conjure a goal from this attack? Still plenty of time. Collingwood travelling like winners, but not home. There's a big difference, isn't there? Ramiro's kick to the 50. Carey taps it forward. Still Carey. McCarthy had to put him out there, really. McCarthy, and that one smothered by Plain. He was doing some good work at both ends of the ground tonight and out of play.
Good work there from Wayne Carey to keep his feet. Many players would have gone to ground there when McCartney came in at his shins and unbalanced him. No value to your side when you're skittled on the ground.
Anthony Rock at the bottom. Bradley Plain, smothered by McCarthy. Little tap into the path of Schwartz, who through goes Rowe, but he did it incorrectly because Roberts was there and kicks the goal for North Melbourne.
Well, North Melbourne coming back at 11-11 to 12-12. Rowe a bit stiff there. He really played that as a forward in the goal square, not a defender, trying to find an opportunity. And it was Roberts that found the opportunity and scored the goal. Buckley went to ground, looked for a free against Blakey. Blakey over the top. Buckley with 9 kicks and 4. Blakey with 6 and 1.
He's great at centre bounces, though, Nathan Buckley. He steams into the centre square area, makes his presence felt. He's got such good hands that if he gets possession, the ball's on its way.
North winning the tap through McKernan that time. Scholl had a little kick at it, didn't get very far. Krasiska caught, ducked his head. Archer breaks the tackle. Kick towards McAdam. North coming back.
Definitely a good fight, though. It was a cracking game, as you said earlier in the piece, Bruce. At the start of it, it looks like we're in for a scintillating finish. Perhaps Kerry Good could be interchanged.
Oh, don't do that to us, Stuart. McCann with 4.
This is the longest run-up you've seen since Merv Hughes started playing cricket at the Western Oval. He used to start at the outside, Dougie Hawkins' wing fence.
Four goals, 3 to McAdam. North within a goal. But it could so easily have been within a point.
Do we want to give Dipper another chance to have a tip at who's going to win the game?
So Collingwood by 3, we've written it down. Only get one go.
Kicking is marked by Tony Shaw in the right back pocket. So still North Melbourne, if they can get the football back around about the 50-metre line, they can force it forward once again. Danilchenko in the middle of the action. The ball close to the boundary line. Oh dear, that could have nearly been penalised. No, the umpire signals. Throw it in, please, to the boundary umpire. There's Kent Butcher. The play is about 75, 80 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. Ramiro tries to get it clear. Schwartz is tackled by Butcher. And play held up about 65 metres from the North Melbourne goal. They trail by 6 points. Collingwood 12-12. North Melbourne 11-12. McKernan doing the ruck work. Tony Shaw really did nicely. Archer. Bradley playing off the ground. Bounces just inside the boundary line. And a throw-in will take place, perhaps from a Collingwood point of view, out of the danger area. Magpie fans, as I witnessed last weekend, they are everywhere. Find them in Darwin, you find them anywhere. Jose Ramiro, good kick up near the 50-metre line. Chance for North Melbourne if they can gather from here, and they certainly have got a good opportunity to. Clarkson, no. Ball comes clear from Russell. Rebounds into the centre. Big McKernan leaves it for Scholl. Scholl more agile. Kicks. McAdam's underneath it, and McAdam's got it.
A great effort there by Adrian McAdam. He doesn't mind letting the opposition know it either. Kept his eyes on the ball. There are Collingwood players bearing down on him. Nick Martin is in the square now for North Melbourne. Longmire going back to full back. Just saw him there, eyes only for the football. He's calling now to the umpire, letting him know to call time on. He's down fiddling with his bootlace. There's the time on whistle. Extra time being added.
So McAdam, who had his chance just a few minutes ago to kick his 5th goal, has another opportunity here. Again, another lengthy run-up. He'll kick from inside 50 metres. And he misses once again.
I wonder if Brent Plain is just reminding him about his little incident before half-time.
It's 4 goals, 4 to Adrian McAdam. On the other hand, Quayne Carey has kicked 5 goals, 1.
5-point game now. Christian wants Richardson. Shot at the back. Lock on the ground. Sanderson's kick up towards half-back centre wing. Fraser, all robbed very well by Stevens. Came from nowhere there to take it off the 2 Collingwoods. Butcher's control kick to Francis. Sweeps a handball. It sits now for Williams. Breaks a tackle. Gets run down very well though from the back. Now Rowe. Back to all good. Kick to Fraser. At the weight. Clarkson. German. Rock. North away. Rock centres it to Scholes. Sweeps it from one side of the ground to the other. Scholes, long kick to full forward. McAdam runs in there. Carey! Not Payne.
Yes, he was appealing for it. From here, it looked like a mark. Great vision from Rock earlier in that passage of play to switch it over to Scholes. Oh, well, there's a ton of hands on that. Yeah. It's been a tough one to give.
Right decision, really, in the end, you'd think. Swash taken out of it. Krasiska couldn't break the tackle. Ramiro's little left footer, touch play on. You could hear the umpire call. Collingwood did just that. Got it across to Watson. Watson to the boundary line, out on the full.
Glenn Archer in trouble at the back at half forward for North Melbourne. Looks like it's only the cramp. Krasiska also there with a bout of cramp.
Only centimetres in that kick coming from Shane Watson, but it goes back into the goal-scoring area. The kick from Roberts. Taken by Butcher. Brilliantly smothered there by Scholl. Away for Archer. Schwass tries to crash his way through. McCartney, round the neck, surely. Krasiska. Oh, gee whiz. Well, again, the umpire in a terrific position to the judge. And he decides on a bounce about 20 metres out from the North Melbourne goal. Back towards the centre. The mark is taken by McKernan. Give it off short, son. No. Robertson made reasonable position, but he goes long in towards the full forward area. Taken by Martin. Martin has kicked a miraculous goal. Michael Martin, a one-time leading goal scorer in the under-19s, played all of his football in defence in the seniors, has kicked a goal to give North Melbourne the lead as Glenn Archer leaves the ground.
Yes, and you see him hobbling off. Still got the cramp. They can't break that. What a fantastic goal to Michael Martin. Boy, would he be a revelation if he could turn it around and become a top full forward. No, he's got the ability. Perhaps this year he'll get the opportunity.
North Melbourne by a point. Less than 6 minutes remaining. Sort of game that makes you look forward to the season, doesn't it? First match of the year.
Fantastic.
What a thriller. Off the ground by Williams. Can Collingwood come back? They've already produced one remarkable turnaround in this match. Williams chips at the shore. Captain courageous. Well, I should say ex-captain courageous. Still courageous.
And still a captain.
Great leader, isn't he? To Buckley. Buckley on the run towards centre half forward. Houlihan gave a shove. Play on. Rowe to put Collingwood in front. No, it's all level. Remember, there could be no draw in the Foster's Cup. We might go into extra time yet.
Yeah, well, Brett just tried to boomerang that one through rather than perhaps taking on the challenges. Collingwood outnumbered them with numbers up in that goal line. Should have done better.
Ross Smith kicks it in. Well outside the 50-metre region. Mark is taken by Richardson. He's played a good game, Mark Richardson. Kicks into centre half forward. Buckley. Left foot kick by Nathan Buckley. Is offline. 1 goal, 3 to that play. Still Lee Matthews.
Perhaps it's time for North Melbourne to swing a change in the ruck. and bring the big fellow Oshchenko back on.
Collingwood lead by a point. The kick in is marked by Danilchenko. Left half back for North Melbourne. Good kick by that player. Gets up near the wing. Mark taken by McKernan. North Melbourne's younger players coming to the fore. Blakey gets past but leaves the footy behind. Now puts himself under a little bit of pressure. Gets the kick away to half forward, and an excellent mark taken. That ball floated in the air, and the mark taken by Sanderson.
Goes out wide, some space to Williams. Remember, Collingwood led by 19 points at one stage in this last quarter, and North led by 25 points at half-time. A point the difference at the moment. The Maggies in front. Williams hugging the boundary for Butler, who runs hard and makes it and takes the mark. What an important player he's been since half-time. Taking his time now. Long way from goal. About 100 metres away. That kick inside 50. Smith taking a long time to get on top of the footy and running out. Collingwood with the numbers in the end.
Archer back onto the ground for Danilchenko. Going back up to the forward line as Archer. Picked up by young Hassel.
Rocker at the back. Rocker, left foot snap. Getting back, is it Roberts to take the mark? It is. Goes out wide. North, German made a bad mistake. Rowe to the boundary line, still in play. Still with Rowe. Handball to Francis, 60 metres out. Oh, handball missed the mark completely. And North Melbourne with a chance. Rock just over the top to Stevens. Archer stopping it now. Archer ridden down by Shaw. Quick kick away by Collingwood. Noel's half forward.
Oh, it's red hot now, Bruce, with just a few minutes left. There's 3 minutes left in the game. Scotty Russell tries to bash it clear for the advantage of one of his teammates. Well done by Archer. And he really worked hard there, Glenn Archer. You can see the numbers against him, but he's held it up for North Melbourne on centre wing. Collingwood lead by just 1 point. Dennis Pagan on the phone, giving instructions down to the bench. There's the time left in the left-hand corner of the screen. And can Collingwood hang on? Mark Fraser, he's got the pace, and he backs himself, runs away and kicks it in towards full forward. But well done, Ross Smith. No, he dropped the mark. Away goes McCarthy. Underneath all that looks like it could be Alistair Clarkson. And it's held up there at right half back.
Great to see Mark Fraser just using his pace. A lot of players tend to bounce the ball in the first couple of steps, but you're allowed 15, and a couple of times today we've seen Fraser use the full distance.
Clarkson's handball to Roberts. Roberts' kick off the side of the boot up to centre wing. Shaw's got his eyes on it. Stopped by Martin. Quick kick away. Sanderson gets back. Concedes a bit of ground, but towards the boundary line. Carey goes with him. Sanderson will let it roll over. Push it out and be happy with the result inside the last 2 minutes. Collingwood leads in this opening match of the Foster's Cup by a point. Next goal wins. Archer. McCannon.
Well, you'd think he'd at least level the scores, wouldn't you? But here.
Well, he's missed 2, hasn't he, from the same angle, but about 10 metres further out, 15 metres further out. Terrific mark. Kick 4-4.
It's been an entertaining play, there's no doubt about that tonight.
He's different, isn't he?
He's very different.
There's only one of him, there's no doubt about that.
Kicked 9 goals against Collingwood last year in a game that almost buried the Pies for the season. Round 10, they were absolutely slaughtered by North Melbourne at Victoria Park, and Lee Matthews said after the game that the jumper had been embarrassed.
McCannon leans over and kicks it. He's kicked his 5th, and North Melbourne are in front with just less than a minute to go at 13-13 to 12-14. Gee, take 9 to 4 on at the start of the night.
I think I'd have had my heart certainly in my mouth.
What price now, with less than a minute to go, can Collingwood get one back?
Oh, Jared mentioned earlier about how important the centre bounce is. Whoever takes this away, if it's North Melbourne, surely they can hang on. If it's Collingwood, there's still a chance.
Exactly.
So we'll just wait and see. Well done by Richardson. Francis gets it back near the centre. Butcher, handball Buckley. He's a good kicker to football. It's within scoring distance. Can they take the mark? Bradley Plain tried to swoop on it. North Melbourne get clear through Mark Roberts. It comes to a vacant wing area. The race is on. It's young Barnett for North Melbourne. A little kick by that player may have been the last chance that Collingwood had, because he's put it over for a boundary throw-in and there's just half a minute left.
Well, coaches all over Australia always harp on the little skill errors, and we've seen a couple in this last quarter. Tony Francis' handle, that drop mark from North Melbourne, just one or two little things can determine the result of a game. When it comes down to a one-shot game as we have here at the moment, the slightest of error will cause you to lose 4 points, or in this case, plenty of dollars for your club.
Well, Dennis Pagan, you've still got a long season in front of you, and Lee Matthews, and they've had a real cliffhanger of a game here tonight. Collingwood will probably hang on and win now. Francis with the football. North Melbourne rather. Now Plain into an open goal. Bradley's kicked it.
There's a Freudian slip.
4 goals to Bradley Plain. Just as you try to tip a winner.
A Freudian slip, Robbo, no problems with that. It was the subconscious telling you something. What a fantastic game we've had here. Big punch there. Tony Francis has been in and out of this game all evening. Been a good contributor, so is this bloke. If he plays 20-odd games this season, he will perhaps be one of the recruits of the year.
2 seconds remaining as Richardson thumps it forward, and that's it. Collingwood have snatched it and won this Foster's Cup opening match in the most dramatic circumstances. Carey can't believe his luck. 5 at one end, McAdam kicked 5, they got 10 out of their 2 stars, and you'd reckon that Collingwood had won the Foster's Cup grand final.
Well, it's taken 14 years, but they've finally, Collingwood, extracted revenge on that loss in 1980, where the result was also one behind from memory.
Remembering their Foster's Cup record under Lee Matthews has been very modest indeed.
It has improved somewhat after tonight.
Well, what a great finish to a great game. Collingwood in the end over North Melbourne by a solitary point. It was 13-14 to 13-13.
The name of the game is Australia.
What a remarkable match to start the 1994 Foster's Cup Series. Collingwood seemingly out at half-time and then seemingly home and then gone and come again. 13-14 to 13-13 by a single point. Never in doubt, was it, if you're a Collingwood fan? Monday night football. It's St Kilda and Richmond at Waverley Park here in another first round of the Foster's Cup on a Monday night football match on 7 Sport. And then on Wednesday night, the double header. Yes, Fitzroy against Geelong from Waverley Park. Adelaide up against West Coast from Football Park. Check your local guides for details there. And this was the final thrust of the match. Brad Plain, who had kicked 3 goals to this stage, ex-Essendon, screws it back, puts it through, and there was just 2 seconds remaining. And he finished with 15 and 3 and 4 goals. And look at that after half-time. 11 kicks and 2 handballs. Hope you've enjoyed it tonight. We have. Collingwood by a point in the opening match.
This has been a 7 Sport